And I'm not your slave and you're not my master. I'm shutting your butt down.
Quentin Tarantino doesn't just fire actors, he erupts. In his world, loyalty is everything and betrayal is permanent. He's not the kind of director who quietly moves on or offers second chances. When he cuts you out, it's not just from a movie, it's from his entire universe. For 3 decades, Tarantino has crafted masterpieces dripping with style, violence, and myth. But behind those iconic scripts lies an unbreakable rule. If you don't match his vision, you're gone, erased like a character who never existed. And the actors who crossed that line? Their stories aren't just Hollywood gossip. They're legends of destruction. From on-set chaos to public feuds, from whispered grudges to explosive clashes, these are the stars Tarantino locked out forever, and the reasons why he never looked back. When Quentin Tarantino cast Lawrence Tierney in Reservoir Dogs, it looked like destiny. Tierney was a stone-faced legend from the noir era, the kind of actor who could make silence feel dangerous. Tarantino wanted him as Joe Cabot, the veteran crime boss holding his gang together. On paper, it was perfect. But once the cameras rolled, it turned into a disaster. Tierney wasn't just difficult, he was volatile. He forgot lines, lashed out at crew members, and argued with Tarantino like a man possessed. Every day on set felt like a gamble. Would they finish the scene, or would Tierney explode? The breaking point came during a screaming match, so intense that Tarantino himself stormed after him and fired him on the spot. Imagine that, a 29-year-old first-time director going toe-to-toe with a Hollywood veteran and cutting him out without hesitation. That moment told everyone on set exactly who Tarantino was. He wasn't just directing a movie. He was laying down law. After that, Tierney was gone, not just from Reservoir Dogs, but from Tarantino's entire world. No cameos, no callbacks, no nostalgic mentions in interviews. It was as if he had been erased from the director's history. For Tarantino, the betrayal wasn't written in sand. It was written in concrete. And once you were on the wrong side of it, you stayed there forever. When Pulp Fiction hit theaters in 1994, it didn't just redefine cinema, it resurrected Bruce Willis. His career had been sinking fast after a string of box office failures. Tarantino handed him a golden ticket, the role of Butch, the tough boxer who refuses to throw a fight. It should have been the start of a long, powerful partnership. But instead, it was the end before it even began. Behind the scenes, the clash was immediate. Tarantino's scripts are sacred. Every word, every pause, every beat is intentional. But Willis wasn't used to that. He was a star who liked to improvise, to bend dialogue to his rhythm. That didn't fly with Tarantino. On set, the tension was so thick you could feel it. Willis brought swagger and Hollywood charm. Tarantino wanted precision and obedience. The result? An uneasy silence. While Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson became lifelong Tarantino allies, Bruce was left on the outside. He lit up Pulp Fiction, delivered a career-saving performance, and then vanished from Tarantino's world. No reunion, no mention, nothing. And maybe that's the coldest cut of all. Tarantino didn't fire Willis. He didn't feud with him publicly. He simply erased him, as if one of Hollywood's biggest stars had never even passed through his cinematic universe. On paper, George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino looked like a dream pairing. In 1996, they joined forces for From Dusk Till Dawn, a wild crime meets vampire hybrid. For Clooney, it was his first major leap from television heartthrob to big-screen leading man. For Tarantino, it was another chance to bend genres and break rules. The film became a cult hit, but their partnership ended right there. And the reason wasn't hidden in whispers. It was spoken out loud. Years later, Tarantino cut Clooney down with one brutal line. George Clooney is not a movie star. No nuance, no softening, just a direct shot. For Tarantino, Clooney's brand of Hollywood polish, slick, charming, bankable, was the opposite of what he wanted in his gritty, blood-soaked worlds. To him, Clooney wasn't dangerous. He wasn't raw. He wasn't real. Clooney didn't stay quiet. He defended his career, pointing to films like Michael Clayton and Syriana. But the damage was already done. The respect was shattered. And in Tarantino's world, once that trust is gone, it's gone forever. After From Dusk Till Dawn, Clooney never appeared in a Tarantino project again. Not even as a cameo. And considering how fiercely Tarantino reuses actors he loves, Travolta, Jackson, Uma Thurman, Tim Roth, the silence around Clooney speaks louder than any feud. Sometimes Tarantino's punishment isn't public war, it's complete dismissal. And for an actor of Clooney's stature, being cut from Tarantino's world may have stung more than any insult. If Bruce Willis was quietly erased, Spike Lee was burned in broad daylight. This wasn't a clash behind the scenes, it was war. Two titans of film, colliding over race, art, and who gets to tell what story. It began in 1997, when Jackie Brown hit theaters. Spike Lee blasted Tarantino for what he called an infatuation with the N-word. "What does he want to be?" Lee asked. "An honorary black man?" It wasn't just criticism of a script. It was a direct attack on Tarantino's voice as a filmmaker, and Tarantino didn't hold back. His response was vicious. "Spike needs to shut the F up." No apology, no softening, just pure fire. The feud exploded across headlines, and the divide became permanent. Years later, when Django Unchained premiered, Lee refused to watch it. He called it disrespectful to my ancestors.
"I can't disrespect my ancestors."
Tarantino, instead of backing down, twisted the knife. He's just mad because I'm making the black movies he wishes he could make. That line wasn't just dismissive, it was final. Since then, the two have never reconciled. No collaborations, no shared panels, not even mutual praise. Two of the most powerful filmmakers of their generation, locked on opposite sides of a line that will never be crossed. In Tarantino's world, loyalty means everything, and when Spike challenged his right to tell certain stories, Tarantino didn't just defend himself, he declared war and never looked back. When Reservoir Dogs dropped in 1992, one actor stole the spotlight with a single rant, Steve Buscemi as Mr. Pink. His scene about refusing to tip waitresses became iconic. A piece of dialogue burned into indie film history. He helped launch Tarantino's career, proved his genius with razor-sharp delivery, and seemed destined to become one of Quentin's go-to actors. But then, silence. Unlike Michael Madsen, Tim Roth, or Samuel L. Jackson, all of whom became recurring figures in Tarantino's universe, Buscemi never came back. No cameo in Pulp Fiction, no role in Kill Bill, not even a whisper of collaboration. Fans began to ask, what happened? Theories swirled. The most famous? That Mr. Pink's legendary tipping rant wasn't just a character moment. It was inspired by something Buscemi himself had said off-camera. Tarantino, obsessed with loyalty and authenticity, allegedly never forgot it. Years later, he even joked that if Buscemi ever wanted back into one of his films, he'd have to play a waiter. But the joke cut deep, because the call never came. Buscemi stayed polite about it in interviews. "I haven't heard from Quentin in a long time," he admitted. "But I wish him well. No bitterness, no anger, just distance. But for fans, his absence screams louder than words." In Tarantino's universe, loyalty earns you a legacy. And yet, one of the very actors who helped launch his legend simply disappeared. Sometimes, Quentin's revenge isn't explosive. It's colder than that. It's silence. Some betrayals in Tarantino's world are loud. Others are quiet, but just as final. And that's exactly what happened with Warren Beatty. When Tarantino began writing Kill Bill, he had one man in mind for the role of Bill, Warren Beatty. The part was designed around him. Poetic menace, legendary charm, a villain with the gravitas of a Hollywood icon. It was supposed to be Beatty's great comeback. But when they met to discuss the role, something went wrong. Beatty wasn't just an actor. He was a director, a creator in his own right. And he wanted input, notes, changes, his vision layered onto Tarantino's. For most filmmakers, that kind of collaboration might sound exciting, but Tarantino, he doesn't share authorship. Ever. According to David Carradine, who eventually replaced Beatty, the tension was immediate. Warren was trying to direct the director, he said. And Tarantino doesn't play that game. The collaboration died before a single frame was shot. In interviews afterward, Tarantino gave only a vague explanation. It wasn't going to work. I needed someone who understood it wasn't their story. That single line revealed everything. For Tarantino, a film isn't a conversation. It's a dictation. Every word, every pause, every shot belongs to him. Once Beatty was out, Carradine stepped in, and Tarantino was suddenly energized, like a weight had been lifted. Beatty never complained publicly. No bitterness, no statements, just absence. And in Hollywood, where second chances are currency, that kind of clean break is rare. For Warren Beatty, it was the role of a lifetime that slipped away. For Tarantino, it was just another cut, sharp, final, and irreversible. Quentin Tarantino's universe isn't just built on blood-soaked scripts and unforgettable dialogue. It's built on loyalty. To him, talent alone isn't enough. You can be a Hollywood legend, an Oscar winner, even the star who saved his film. But if you clash with his vision, you're done. No rewrites, no second chances, just silence. Lawrence Tierney was erased after chaos on set. Bruce Willis delivered a career-saving performance, only to vanish without a trace. George Clooney was dismissed as not a movie star. Spike Lee's feud turned into a permanent public war. Steve Buscemi, one of Tarantino's earliest allies, faded into absence. And Warren Beatty lost the role of a lifetime because he dared to share the pen. In Tarantino's world, betrayal isn't a subplot. It's a death sentence. His loyalty runs deep, but his grudges cut deeper. Once you're outside his universe, you're gone. Not just as an actor, but as a piece of his history. And that's what makes Quentin Tarantino unlike any other director alive today. His films create legends. But if you cross him, you don't just lose a role, you lose a legacy. So tell me, which actor do you think deserved a second chance in Tarantino's world?